And yeah, I actually feel to share with you a little bit what's going on while I'm waiting for questions. What's going on in my workshops. So at the moment I'm really bringing all my attention and awareness into the work that I'm doing with women worldwide. So now I have a beautiful, intimate group of women. We're like 16 or something like that. And the first week has happened and we went like so deeply into safety. What is safety, right? It's like, it sounds like a really simple question, like what is safety? But it has so many layers and so many aspects to it that it would be really a waste of my teachings if I wouldn't bring out some of that understanding into the world, which this life is a really nice opportunity to do that. So, when you look at what is safety, then you can also look at what is unsafety. Because basically, when you say the word safe, you also say the word unsafe. Because words are in duality. So words are always, whatever you're saying, always the opposite exists as well. So the whole Tao tradition is about that. It's about like embracing that field of tension. So you have on one hand you have the one side of the polarity, and on the other side you have the other side of the polarity. So just to make it practical, in the sense of safety, so you feel completely safe. You are and feel completely safe on one side, and you are and feel completely unsafe on the other side. So that's a field of tension. That's a polarity field. And everything that exists in our world is made out of these polarities. There's I love you, and when you say I love you, you automatically kind of say, yeah, for sure. I was just with Ehab and Mediha, just here. So yeah, it's really nice, you know me from there. So when you're saying safety and unsafety, then you know these two polarities of that field, and everything exists like that. So when you're saying I love you, you're also saying I hate you, but it's not as obvious. But the one doesn't exist without the other in that sense of polarities. There is the dark, the light, the good, the bad, all these things. Now, if you want to have wisdom growing from the middle of it, then you can just ask your question Hira. So if you have a question, just ask me and I will answer it once I'm out of this flow. So when you're able to embrace both poles of these fields of tension, and there's so many of them, then from the middle of that, like the third force or the third power that actually grows from that, is what you can call wisdom, or the third force. So from being able to embrace it without saying it's good or bad or judging it in any way, just sitting, I call it sitting with it. So I feel safe and at the same time I feel unsafe. When I'm sitting with that, I feel safe, I feel unsafe. Then from that field of allowing those feelings and thoughts and everything that comes with it, all these layers, there's so many layers to this, it's incredible. That's what we're finding out when we're as a group of 15 women, we're just all sharing about feeling safe and what situations we're not feeling safe, like all day long. So for example, if you have tension in your shoulders, for example. So if you're having tensions in your shoulders, that's a sign that somewhere in your body you're feeling unsafe. So you can pinpoint or notice the unsafety in the body also through tensions, for example. But so many other things, like your breath, if you're breathing really fast, that is a sign of feeling unsafe. There's so many ways in which we can actually perceive this feeling safe or feeling unsafe. Now, the interesting part is that when you are going through this journey and you are going more and more into that feelings of feeling unsafe or safe, what we're doing in my courses is that we activate what I call the soft eyes. So when we activate the soft eyes, basically you literally, you can warm your hands and you can literally put your hands on your eyes and literally allow that warmth of the hands. So I'm doing it now. Allowing the warmth of the hands to move into the eyes. And there's many layers of softness in the eyes. But what for me instantly happens, because I'm doing this since 4 years or longer, is that instantly when I remember during the day or during the night, I remember, oh, soft eyes, I'm looking at the world with hard eyes or judgment, or I'm looking at myself with hard eyes or judgment or tension or stress or all these things. Deep layers, huh? I'm talking about subtle layers. Huh? I don't only talk about I feel stressed. I'm talking about the body and the way that the neurotransmitters in the brain are wired and all these things. Then we start to realize, like, oh yes, okay, I can soften my eyes. Like when you wake up in the morning, your eyes are super soft. So in that sense, you could say it's an indication how soft are your eyes. It's an indication of how relaxed or safe you're actually feeling at that moment, and you can train it. That's the message I want to bring, is that you can train. So that's what I'm doing now since a few years. I'm training myself, my body, my feelings, my soul, my different persona that are living within me. Like I am training them to start to feel more relaxed and more safe. And so when you are feeling more safe, it means that you're gradually becoming even more safe for yourself, and then for the others around us, and also for the whole world around us. So it's the more safe we can feel and become for ourselves, so the more safe we can become for the others in the world around us, which means wisdom. Like wisdom has many, many different qualities and many different aspects to it that would be hard to define in that sense. But in my courses I define it as safety, as how safe are you as a human being, in the sense of are you being constructive or are you being destructive. So these energies really have to do with your sexual energy. Without knowing it maybe consciously, unconsciously we have a continuous stream of sexual energy streaming in a certain way, connected to certain energies, certain understandings that are happening within us, the way that we look at ourselves, the way that we look at others. So that is wisdom in my workshops. That is wisdom, because when you are able to stream your sexual energy freely and at the same time safely within yourself, so that's in the back up and in the front down. That's what that's what we do in my workshops. It's like you learn how to, with inner alchemy, you learn how to refine your sexual energy. So in that sense, you're becoming safer and safer and safer. So you're becoming wiser and wiser. And when you're able to guide and to support yourself in that path of embodying more safety, then you can also start to see that you can set more your boundaries, you're more friendly, more softer, more gentle, more respectful for the other people's boundaries, and just like a more safe person. That's what you can kind of summarize it in. So then your long-term influence on the world is constructive. It's a constructive influence on yourself, the other, and the world around you. So this is one of the things that we do, and I just touched upon it lightly now, and I'm not going to give like a whole teaching about it, but I just wanted to touch upon it, that until the moment that anybody wants to ask me questions and I can actually yeah, that's interesting. Shetal! It's not wise, so there's a question here that I want to respond to. So, yeah, so to cut out sex is not wise. Why? Because if you cut out your sexual or sexuality or your sexual drive, then when you cut it out, it's actually harmful. We call it the frozen state. So you have 4 states with your sexuality that you can work with. One is frozen, one is hypersexuality, so it's too hot. Those are destructive or harmful, and then you have warm and cold in the middle. Those are constructive. So sometimes the bed, as we say, sometimes the bed is warm, sometimes the bed is cold. Sometimes the bed is warm, sometimes the bed is cold. Amazing. Sometimes we think like, oh, the bed always has to be warm, we always have to make love. No. It's not like that. It's like actually when the bed goes from warm to cold, it's actually even more interesting, because that's when you start to see where you let go of all these beliefs and all these concepts that we create around our sexual identity. But just to cut it short and to go into the question, when you are in the frozen condition or in the hot, the hypersexuality condition, then it cuts, and so it's destructive. It's unhealthy for the body, because it's going to stay in the body and it's going to be suppressed in that sense. So of course the drive is still there. It will always be there. You can't suppress your sexuality. You can't suppress sexual energy. You can only know and learn and gradually learn how to guide it by these practices that I'm teaching, for example, so the sexual kung fu. Then you learn to allow that sexual energy to start streaming through your body, transforming it into a much more healthy and constructive flow. Not only you're going to have more energy, but you're also going to be able to transform that energy into first into pure energy, then into the heart, like the 5 wisdoms we say, or the 5 states of awareness, and then actually starts to damp even up from the heart into spiritual awakening, which is totally amazing as well. So yeah, I hope that answered your question, like a little bit. Just to say, not to cut your sexual energy, never. Because if you suppress it in any type of way, then at a certain point it will just explode. Whether it's in emotional anger, whether it's in obsessive thoughts, whether it's in you come home and you're completely drunk, or whether it's whatever it is, it will find its way in a destructive way. It will find its way through your system. And if you're not the one driving your sexual energy, it's like a Ferrari, you know? It's like your sexual energy is like a dragon, like a Ferrari, like it speeds. And so if you're not driving it, then who's the one that's going to drive it, right? It's like it's not healthy. So in that sense, to not be aware of where your sexual energy is going. You need to be aware of where your sexual energy is going. You need to drive it basically, like a horse, like a dragon, like a Ferrari, whatever it is. But you need to be the owner or the driver of your sexual energy. So in that sense, never suppress it. And in that sense, never just let it go wild, right? There is a balance in between. You don't want to control it, but you do need to work with it. So you need to transform it. No, and I'm not talking about casual sex at all. I mean, that's, there is no judgment here. Everybody can do whatever they want. So, and it's good to explore. But the types of training that I'm talking about here is really with yourself. So it's really, how do you relate to your own sexual identity, and how do you, so that's when that safety comes in. A lot of women say, yeah, but I'm feeling okay, I'm feeling safe. But then when we go deeper into different areas, or in the body, or in the emotional, or in the memories, or in the cultural state that the world has been in for thousands of years, you will see that a lot of women do not feel safe. So you're saying women are feeling safe. A lot of women, once in the beginning of my workshops, everybody's like, I feel safe, I'm safe. And then we start to explore it. And then it's shocking. Then we discover, oh my gosh, like I had no idea, but actually I am feeling very unsafe and I wasn't aware of it. And so all the practices go through these layers of safety. So yeah, I did wanted to go more into that, but I think this is enough for now. I will definitely, I promised some of my best friends that I will do this more often, like a commitment. So I will do lives more often. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments so that I can actually pick them and have different topics and themes that I can actually answer them. So today the topic or the theme was safety. I haven't even gotten into it very deeply, but this is how it is. Yes, I can say hello to Ea, but for sure. I don't see your name. There's just a 2 and some letters. So, okay. Yes, I will say it. Okay, Yassine, I will say hello. So, okay. Well, that's it. I hope that was useful. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do enjoy it, subscribe to my channel. You're more than welcome to join my course. I start a new one in May. So the early bird price is still up. So go to my website, rideyourlotus.com, and you will find more information there. I only teach to women, by the way. So for all the women that are seeing this, you're more than welcome to join. We start another journey in May. Okay, that was it. Thank you.